What happens when one of Hollywood's most iconic voices walks onto a daytime talk show and refuses to play by the rules? Sam Elliott, the man known for his legendary mustache and no-nonsense attitude, sat down on The View for what was supposed to be a friendly chat about his latest project. But within minutes, the conversation took a sharp turn that nobody saw coming. What started as typical morning television quickly escalated into one of the most intense exchanges ever broadcast. On daytime TV, the tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. And by the end, security was involved. This is the story of how a simple interview turned into absolute chaos. Sam Elliott walked onto the set with that signature stride, the kind that evoked dusty western towns and quiet showdowns. The audience erupted in applause as he waved politely, his expression calm and unreadable. He took his seat, adjusted his jacket, and nodded as Whoopi Goldberg welcomed him, praising his decades-long career and unmistakable voice. Sam thanked her, his gravelly tone instantly filling the studio. For a brief moment, everything felt routine, almost comfortable. That calm didn't last. Joy Behar leaned forward, skipping small talk, and brought up comments Sam had made in a recent interview about Hollywood's changing values. Her smile was tight, her tone pointed. Sam paused before answering, choosing his words carefully. He spoke about authenticity, about storytelling that connected with people rather than chasing trends or political convenience. He said the industry sometimes lost its way when messaging mattered more than meaning. Joy pressed him to explain what he meant by politically convenient. Sam didn't retreat. He said he had seen cycles come and go and believed stories should come first. Respect mattered, he added, but agreement wasn't mandatory. Around the table, the other hosts exchanged glances. The energy in the room shifted, subtle but unmistakable. Sonny Hostin joined in, asking whether Sam believed diversity harmed storytelling. Sam shook his head slowly. Diversity wasn't the problem, he said. He had worked with talented people from every background imaginable. The issue, in his view, arose when storytelling became secondary to signaling. When the audience gasped, Sam remained steady, insisting excellence should never be optional. Joy cut him off mid-thought, her voice sharper now. She argued that Hollywood had long excluded other perspectives and that perhaps Sam was uncomfortable with change. Sam's jaw tightened, but his tone stayed controlled. He said he was uncomfortable only with mediocrity and warned against using diversity as a shield from criticism. The room fell silent, the first crack in what would soon become total disorder. Whoopi attempted to redirect the conversation, mentioning Sam's upcoming project, but Joy wasn't finished. She accused Sam of embodying the old guard, unable to accept that new voices were finally taking center stage. Sam turned toward her, meeting her gaze directly. His voice slowed, each word deliberate. He said he had earned his place through decades of work, not by tearing down those who came before him. Respect, he insisted, was mutual. Joy laughed, though there was no warmth in it. She accused Sam of diminishing the struggles of marginalized communities. Sam's voice dropped lower, calmer but heavier. He said he hadn't dismissed anyone's struggles, only argued that quality mattered more than optics. He asked whether audiences were incapable of recognizing well-told stories. The question hung in the air, electric. Anna Navarro suggested a commercial break, sensing the spiral. Joy waved her off, declaring Sam's comments offensive and questioning whether he should even be speaking on such issues. Sam leaned back, crossing his arms. He said he had spoken his mind for over 50 years and wasn't about to stop now. Joy shot back that this was her show, and that challenging, harmful rhetoric was her right. Sam raised an eyebrow, almost amused. He asked when honest conversation became harmful, when experience became something to silence. He suggested that if disagreement wasn't welcome, perhaps guests should only echo approved opinions. The audience split audibly, applause clashing with gasps. Whoopi reminded everyone that the show valued diverse perspectives, but Joy remained unmoved. She stood, pointing at Sam, declaring she wouldn't be lectured by someone out of touch with the modern world. Sam stayed seated, looking up at her calmly. He said she was proving his point, choosing theatrics over dialogue. He accused modern discourse of favoring outrage over understanding. Joy turned toward the producers, demanding Sam be removed. Chaos erupted. Cheers and boos collided as security approached. Sarah Haynes protested, saying this wasn't how disagreements should be handled. Sam remained composed, standing only when asked. He thanked Whoopi and apologized to her alone, making it clear he didn't blame her. As security closed in, Joy added one final remark, saying consequences mattered. Sam stopped, turned slowly, and faced her. The studio fell silent. He said she had proven everything he'd warned about. Dissent met with force, not discussion. He called it fear disguised as authority. Joy faltered, clearly unprepared for that response. She accused Sam of twisting the situation, of arriving with an agenda. Sam asked what agenda that was, pointing out he had only answered questions posed to him. Whoopi stepped in firmly, urging professionalism and calm. Sam nodded, saying he was willing to listen if Joy was. The confrontation paused, balanced on the edge of collapse. As the show struggled to reclaim control, Joy finally agreed to explain her position, though her voice still trembled with frustration. She said marginalized communities had fought for decades to have their stories told, and that dismissing those efforts as box-checking undermined real progress. Sam listened without interruption, his expression guarded. When she finished, he responded more measuredly. He said he understood the fight for representation and had supported it throughout his career. But he insisted that supporting diverse voices didn't mean abandoning standards. Excellence, he said, was respect. Joy shook her head, arguing the playing field had never been level. She pointed out that gatekeepers had long decided what was marketable. Sam countered that audiences ultimately decided what resonated. No amount of messaging could force genuine connection. Whoopi noted that audiences were more diverse than ever. Sam agreed, saying niche stories were valid, but craft still mattered. Joy accused him of implying diverse work was inferior. Sam raised his voice, denying it. He said brilliance and mediocrity existed across all backgrounds. Pretending otherwise, he argued, helped no one. The audience reacted loudly, divided and emotional. Sarah Haynes pleaded for calm, but neither side yielded. Sunny Hostin asked Sam for specific examples. He declined, saying the issue was principle, not projects. Joy scoffed, suggesting Sam felt threatened by changing norms. She implied his discomfort stemmed from the decline of familiar narratives. Sam rejected the accusation, saying she was assigning motives he never claimed. Anna Navarro attempted compromise, suggesting both points could coexist. Sam agreed, but Joy dismissed the effort, saying neutrality missed the reality of harm. Sam accused Joy of casting him as a villain regardless of his words. He called it ironic coming from someone championing acceptance. The argument grew personal. Joy spoke of women and minorities fighting for recognition. Sam acknowledged past injustices, but warned against overcorrection. Merit, he said, should never be secondary. Joy challenged who defined merit. Sam replied that audiences did. The debate intensified, looping without resolution. Joy accused Sam of playing the victim. He said success didn't require silence. Whoopi tried again for a break as security hovered nearby. The studio felt on the brink. Then an audience member stood and asked why both couldn't be right. The interruption cut through the noise. She explained that Sam spoke about standards while Joy spoke about access. They weren't opposites. The room stilled, caught off guard. Whoopi seized the moment, asking both to reflect. Sam nodded thoughtfully. Joy hesitated, arms crossed. For the first time, the chaos paused, leaving the question hanging. Was the real conflict not between two people, but between ideas struggling to share the same space? The audience members' words lingered, creating an uneasy quiet. Sam broke it first, saying he appreciated the clarity. He reiterated that his concern had always been about craft, never exclusion. He said opportunities should be wide, but expectations should remain high. Joy listened, though skepticism remained etched on her face. She responded by acknowledging the distinction but warned that standards were often weaponized to maintain power. She said marginalized creators were scrutinized more harshly, their mistakes magnified. Sam conceded that bias existed, but argued that lowering expectations wasn't the solution. True equality, he said, meant believing everyone was capable of excellence. Whoopi nodded, sensing the shift. She emphasized that disagreement didn't require removal. Joy exhaled, finally sitting back down. She admitted the conversation touched nerves, including her own. Sam acknowledged that pain shaped perspective and said he respected that, even if he disagreed. The tension didn't vanish, but it softened. Security retreated slightly, unsure. Sam addressed the cameras, saying public discourse needed room for complexity. He said people could support progress while questioning execution. Silence, he warned, helped no one. Joy countered that criticism carried weight when coming from established voices. Sam accepted that responsibility, saying he spoke carefully but honestly. The exchange, while still charged, felt less combustible. Whoopi suggested ending the segment on that note, recognizing the discomfort as part of growth. The audience applauded, less divided now, more reflective. Sam thanked the hosts again. Joy nodded curtly, not smiling, but no longer hostile. As the cameras prepared to cut, Whoopi reminded viewers that the show existed for conversation, not consensus. Sam stood, straightened his jacket, and gave a small nod to the audience. Joy watched him go, thoughtful, unsettled. The segment ended without a tidy resolution. No one won. But the chaos left behind something rare on daytime television. A raw, unresolved debate that refused easy answers. Viewers would argue about it for days, each side claiming vindication. Behind the scenes, producers scrambled, unsure how the moment would be received. On social media, clips spread rapidly, framed as confrontation, courage, or controversy, depending on the viewer. For Sam, it was another chapter in a long career defined by speaking plainly. For Joy, it was a reminder that conviction invited collision. And for the audience, it was proof that honest conversation, however messy, still mattered. What began as a routine interview became a mirror reflecting a larger cultural struggle, one where voices clashed not because they hated progress, but because they disagreed on how to achieve it. And in that unresolved space, the Rayal story lived. Long after the cameras stopped rolling,